Hey guys, it's Dustin here. I'm doing another update, and there's a very specific reason I'm doing a pigeon update in my room, which I'll show you. But I went through all the work of getting the tripod set up and realized you're not even going to be able to see what I want to show you with the tripod on. So let me pick you guys up here. Here we are. So you guys remember I had my first egg hatch a few days ago, almost a week, or right at a week. This is it, and I'm going to be hand raising in this one inside for a couple of reasons. This pigeon is not one that my pigeons laid. This egg came from a friend at the club who, as soon as he found out I had a pair that only laid one egg, he offered me an egg to stick under there, so I did. And I knew the egg was going to hatch a little earlier than the one already in the nest, but I was okay with that, and this is why. But originally, this egg hatched about 4 days before, or was supposed to hatch about 4 days before the other one. I think it actually wound up hatching earlier. I don't know. I only just got a calendar today to start marking things down on, so I've gotten a little mixed up with my dates. But it's older, and I was originally going to let the parents just raise both babies and keep a close eye to make sure the younger one didn't get underfed. But as y'all saw in my last video, or at least my subscribers have, I went to help one of my closer friends who is also more of a mentor to me as well. I went over and helped him clean his lofts, his flying loft and his breeding loft. And in his breeding loft, what I didn't tell y'all when I made the video or show you was that there were 2 pair that were just loose in the breeding loft. I showed y'all the individual cages, but there were also 2 pair just in there, and you could see it was set up to be able to do that. It had the aviaries and everything, and they had laid eggs on the floor. And we had to get the loft cleaned out, and you know, that meant the pairs had to be off the nests were going to be destroyed, the eggs had to be removed. But I could tell that one of the eggs had pipped, which means it had started to hatch. You know, a little crack you always see in the movies where a crack goes around the shell and the top pops off, except it happens a lot slower in real life. But that had started to happen to one of them. So I only live about 10 minutes from his house. I stuck 3, one of the eggs, I'm sure positive, was dead, and I just threw that one out. But 3 of the 4 I stuck in my pockets of my jacket and just drove home as quick as I could and stuck them under my birds. And so the 2 related eggs hatched today. Both of them actually, or maybe one of them hatched late last night. No, they both hatched today. And the egg that was already in the nest that my pigeons had laid hatched yesterday night. So they're only a day apart at most. So I left the 3 of them in that nest to be fed and taken care of. And I'm going to be raising this one by hand inside. And it's a good opportunity to teach y'all how to do this. I'm actually not going to show you how to hand feed them in this update. This is just an update, and because you can see he's still got food in his crop. But I will be hand feeding them probably later tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to take the video on how to hand feed them tonight. I may do it tomorrow, but y'all should be able to watch it by tomorrow, I'm sure. But I should have it up by tomorrow night. But we'll see. And now I will go ahead and tell you guys, pigeons have to eat, the baby pigeons have to eat every 4 hours. And I think y'all know, or at least my subscribers, I think y'all know, I'm 16, going on 17 in April, so I'm a junior in high school. So that means that from 8 in the morning to, for me, 2:35 in the afternoon, I'm at school, which obviously is more than 4 hours. But I go to a private school, and we have a rule that no animals are allowed in the building. but my principal is awesome and is allowing me to bring the pigeons to school. This baby, and there are a couple of other babies I'm going to be doing this with, he's going to let me bring them to school and feed them during lunchtime, which he also let me do last year because he's awesome. And my science teacher is going to be letting me keep them in the closet in the science room, which, by the way, is not full of fumes or anything else that's going to harm them. Like I said, I did this last year. Both of this pigeon's parents I actually raised by hand and fed during lunch at school, which means I didn't get to eat lunch very much for a couple of weeks last year, but that'll be alright. Now that I've just got this one, I'm sure I'll still be able to get lunch in for now. His and mine both. But once I start getting more, I may have to be skipping lunch. But that's okay, they're worth it. I can eat later. But I'll take you guys out to the loft now and show y'all what's going on in there. Also, y'all know I've got my parakeet Nina. I've been able to get her out of her cage onto my finger now. She's scared of the camera, so she's not going to let me do it now. See, she's freaking out by me opening it. She's scared of the camera, but I can get her out of her cage on my finger now. So, that's a plus. But, I'll take y'all out to the loft. Alright guys, I'm out in the loft now. While I was inside, I forgot to mention, that baby is ready to be banded. You want to usually band them at about 7 days old, and I think that one's really more like 6 days old, but, being the only pigeon in the nest up until now, it's been being fed more and has grown even a little bit quicker, so he's ready to be banded. That'll be a separate video too, but I should do that in a few minutes, maybe after supper. So I'll get that video up tonight. But so here's what's going on. We still got my roller pair in here sitting on eggs, and they're actually sitting on one racing home egg. That third egg I told y'all about that I brought home from Rick's. It's a little bit younger, so it hasn't hatched yet, but I'm pretty sure it is alive and kicking. Well, that's actually not a very good saying, it's not kicking anything, but the sibling egg was dead. It had been dead for a while, but that one seems to be okay. I've got my blue bar black hen pair down here, which, as you can see, they've started to build a nest. Well, they have built a nest, I guess, out of pine needles, those are just some I got from the woods and gave them, but I did go out and buy a bale of pine needles today, so I'll be able to do that. This pair, still not doing anything. I've got a couple of nest bowls set out for two other pair I've got in here now. I still need to get doors on more of these nest boxes. This is the pair that laid the egg on the floor on, well, I guess it was yesterday when I went to go help Rick clean his loft, and she's laid her second one now. I won't bother lifting her up to show you. Y'all know what pigeon eggs look like. But I think I'm safe to open their door now. I had been keeping them locked in there so that she could lay that second egg and make sure she laid it in there. Because there was already a baby and an egg in their nest, I actually put one of those 3 eggs in Swift and Coco's nest over here, and they hatched it. But I've already moved it over because I don't anticipate them being able to feed it. I'm not sure if they could or did at all. I don't think it was ready to be fed yet, so they didn't. I don't know if they could. I don't remember when these eggs hatched. I know, or when they were laid. They will hatch on the 27th. Today's the 21st. Yeah, so I guess they could have fed it, but they didn't yet. Then I've got 3 little babies in there. I lied to them earlier and told them that when I got that baby, that was the last time I was going to mess with them. But I know you are going to want to see, so here, it's going to be easier. I can just get him out of there and show y'all. I wouldn't normally recommend doing this, but there they are. I know you are going to want to see them. 3 little baby pigeons. You can see this is the older one that actually belongs to them. And then these 2. Real little itty bitty, but I'm going to move their nest back now. I wouldn't really recommend moving their whole nest around, but I'm not too worried about it. There he goes back in. They're not going to desert them. These are paper nest bowls. I forgot to mention while I was at Rick's yesterday, he uses these paper nest bowls, which he gets from Foy's Pigeon Supply. And whereas I just am using whatever I can. These are that's an ice cream container. This is just an old, I guess it's not actually a Tupperware, but just a plastic container. Oh, it's got unhooked. I'm just trying to hook this door back, and she's reaching through and biting me. But yeah, he gave me a small stack of these nest bowls to take home. Again, I didn't ask him to. He just gave them to me. Like, he gave me that satin net and gave me these eggs. Rick is a real generous guy and a really good friend. You can see right now I do have the satin net he gave me paired up to my older indigo blue cock. And you can see there's no food or water in here, so obviously I still got a little bit to do. But this is just an old dog crate. It's actually my girlfriend's and I need to give it back. But at the moment I've got it in here. And that's a rabbit wire floor in there. I don't know if you can see it, but it keeps them suspended. So right now their poop is dropping down onto the pine shavings, but there is a pan that goes in there too, so this cage can be put inside, which is actually what my girlfriend's satin net was in, which is the one I've already crossed to a roller and got eggs from. And also, just to remind y'all, both of their eggs are fertile, and they have a racing homer egg underneath them. I actually need to candle that racing homer egg now. I think that's about all that's going on that's new in here. Y'all can see I've still got the feeder holding up these boards. I need to do something more permanent. I did get a calendar today. I would highly recommend having a calendar to mark everything down on. I'm going to try hanging it up right here underneath this box that fits under there. We know we'll be hanging like that because the top part's got to come up, but I'm going to try it. It's against my better judgment. I know the pigeons are going to knock it down. I know there's nowhere I can put it in here they're not going to knock it down, but I'm going to try it anyways. So, but they'll knock it down and probably poop on it, and I'll regret putting it there. I think I told y'all I've got this pair of birds from Rick that one came from Bill Sonder. Bill Sonder had actually bought it from Rick, and that's the cock. That one came from Bill Sonder, but it was actually from Rick's loft originally, and then Rick gave me this hen to go with it because the pigeon I got with that one, same story, came from Rick's loft, but it was Bill Saunders. The other one turned out to be a cock, even though it was marked as a hen. So Rick and I switched those out, and he didn't just have a spare hen laying around that he gave me. He was sacrificing a breeding pair by giving me that hen. She actually came from one of the individual breeding pens in his breeding loft for all his special birds he has set aside. So again, Rick is a very generous person. I don't know what I'd do without him. I'd have a lot less birds without him. And I still got these white racing homers up here. The younger one, I've noticed its feathers tend to be ruffled up a little bit. I hope there's nothing wrong with it. Whereas that one, you see its feathers are sleek and smooth. Looks pretty normal. I don't know. But you can see as they're getting older, they're starting to get a little more wary of me. I haven't been as good about handling them as I told y'all you need to be. So, you know, hypocrite alert, but I need to be doing more of that. But yeah, I think that's all that's new in here. I still got to candle that racing homer egg underneath the satinette roller pair. The satinette roller cross eggs, once they hatch, I'll also be hand raising them to sell as pets at our church's annual global missions conference, and all that money will go to missionaries around the world. Not that I say all that money certainly won't be coming from those pair of pigeons, but it's usually a pretty good turnout. We have a lot of stuff sold. It's great. So that'll be March 18th. So they'll still be young. They won't be able to be taken home that day. They'll probably have to wait another week. But and like I said, I need to get my flying loft built another half here so that doesn't happen. They're being beat up on. But they're about to have company. They'll have plenty more babies to keep them company, but I need to get that flying loft built. But thanks for watching. I'll try and get that banding video. I'll band that bird I got inside and try and get that up tonight about the same time I get this one up. I'm not sure when I'll video the feeding with that baby. I'll probably do it tonight. I don't want to guarantee that the video will be uploaded tonight. It might go up in the middle of the night. I don't know. It takes a while. I have to get it started before I go to bed and then just let it go. But we'll see. But thanks for watching. Be sure to like it and be sure to subscribe for more videos. I'm getting them up more. You know, I had a word I was going to use, and more frequently. Yeah, I do that, but I've been getting them up more frequently lately. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Take care, guys.